right, welcome. Here we are, Cast and Heroic Division tonight. Archon versus Wildheart Gaming. Both teams ready to get into this already. So let's go over these map selections here, who won coin toss and where we're going. We did have Wildheart Gaming win the coin toss, opting to go with first pick option. Hanamura, Brax's holdout, banned out by Archon. Wildheart Gaming taking away Dragonshire and Alterac Pass for game number 1. We are going to Volskaya Foundry, picked by Archon. I'm ready to get into this. Let's see if the teams are ready. I'm excited to see this matchup. Archon, I haven't seen them play yet, but I'm familiar with a couple of the people on Archon's team. Wildheart Gaming, I've seen plenty of already. So I'm quite looking forward to seeing how these teams match up against each other. Looks like we're going to be waiting for just a minute here for some members on Archon's side, but everyone's in the lobby. We're pretty much ready to get into this, so it shouldn't take too much longer here. Now, Archon, the member that I'm familiar with is JTR. I've seen him around, seen him in some scrims here and there, in some in-houses. So, a little bit familiar with his play, like his hero pool and his playing style kind of thing. But the rest of the team, for the most part, I recognize some names, but I'm not too familiar with their hero pools and exactly how they play. And I haven't had the opportunity to actually watch any of Archon's games yet. So I have no idea what Wildheart Gaming is in for tonight. I was so excited to get into these games. I was rushing through the map picks because I thought they were ready. There was readies in chat, but it turns out not quite. Let's take a little scout look at some of these players' profiles. So it looks like Virtuoso on Archon is probably their tank main. He's got a level 168 Muradin. Holy. Oh, we're going. Alright, as I said, first game on Volskaya Foundry. This one picked by Archon, as Wildheart Gaming opted to go with the first pick option off of the win on coin toss. Hi, Brown Balla, Mama, PK Fire. How are you? Taking the time with the first ban here. Volskaya, it's gonna be that Diva band coming out first. Volskaya is one of those maps where I always like to consider picking up Sylvanas because she can buff the turrets. And the ETC band coming out from the side of Archon. There's already some tank choking going on here because that's going to be Garage taken away by the side of Wildheart Gaming. So Virtuoso has that high-level Muradin. I think I also saw a Diablo in his pool and a new Barak. I think it's going to be pretty hard to choke him on tanks because it seemed like he played pretty much all of them when I was looking at his profile. There's the Chromie being banned out for the second ban on the side of Archon. And that's the Junkrat locked in for first pick on the side of Wildheart Gaming.
Anna checking in.
So Junkrat, I tend to see him a lot more often in these heroic division games. A lot of disruption and displacement built into his kit that can really help capitalize on getting picks. Diablo Ana getting picked up on the side of Archon. I think these are pretty great first picks for your draft. I'm interested to see if maybe they're gonna grab like the Imperius on the side of Archon. That kind of pairs really nicely with the Ana for stuns and follow-up with the Biotic Grenade and sleeps. But on the side of Wildheart Gaming, Brown Balo locking in his Greymane, McNulty on that Urel. These are picks that we tend to see coming from this team. Nothing too surprising, really. Of course, Archon banning out another tank as Wildheart Gaming has yet to lock theirs in. They also don't have their healer locked in yet either. The pool's getting pretty slim here.
The wait is over.
All right, Diablo and Cassia getting, or sorry, Leoric and Cassia getting picked up. I love Leoric. He's one of my favorite offlaners to play. Interested to see. I'm gonna. It'll probably be an Entomb Leoric, but I'm interested to see how much value they'll get off of Entomb pre-20. Just because, you know, Greymane, when he's entombed, I was wondering if we were going to see this. When the tanks started getting choked, I was like, maybe they're going to Imperius tank. And that's exactly what happens here. And the Stukov follow-up, so you're going to have a nice stun coming off the Imperius with a silence underneath and enough blow-up with the Greymane Junkrat to secure some of these kills. And even if you can't, Urel to kind of knock them back and keep them around to finish them off. It's kind of a fun combo there. And on the side of Archon, we have the Mephisto rounding out their draft here. Anyways, as I was saying, Entomb in the early game, pre-20, you know, Urel can jump out of it. Junkrat can use his concussion mine to get out. Greymane can just kind of Worgen form onto Leoric and roll away. So really you're looking at like Stukov, Imperius. Imperius can queue through as well. So you're really looking at like Stukov that you can really safely get a pick on with Entomb pre-20. But that's not to say that it can't happen. I mean, people have cooldowns. If you catch them at the right time, they will fall. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Leoric opts for at 10. But here we are, game number 1 of our best of 3 series between Archon and Wildheart Gaming. On the left, we have Archon with Little Bex on the Ana, JTR playing the Cassia, Fatal Rampage on the Leoric, Midnight Phase on the Mephisto, and Virtuoso on that Diablo. And on the right-hand side, we have Wildheart Gaming with Tempest playing the Junkrat, McNulty on the Urel, Lupus on the Imperius, Dope Monster on the Stukov, and Brown Bala on the Greymane.
Let the battle begin.
Alright, does look like teams are gonna go for the little brawl in mid. Everyone's showing up here for the moment. Junkrat trap is out. Diablo opting to eat that, and he's going to be concussion mine into the backline of Wildheart Gaming. We have the silence going out, connecting onto the Diablo. He's looking to back up here. And that's going to be it for the first little brawl of the game. It looks like JTR trying to get some poke damage on the rotation here. Lupus looking to see if he can find somebody in that bush. But waves are being soaked now. We're going to see that rotation between mid and top and the 4-man. Turrets up in 5 seconds here for teams to go get if they wish to. And we have Urel and Leoric facing off in that bottom lane here. Both of them, you know, pretty chunked already. Diablo taking quite a bit of damage again in the mid, and now we're going to see the Greymane and Stukov going to grab the turret camp on the side of Wildheart Gaming. Over on the side of Archon, we have the Anacasia picking up the turret camp over here. Turret camp already grabbed now for the side of Wildheart Gaming. They could maybe look to invade if they would like to. Does look like McNulty is coming over to eye that up. Lupus right behind him. And there we go. Sleep goes out onto the point. They are going to knock the Cassia off that point. JTR taking a ton of damage. Silence coming out in the Greymane, securing the kill there. That is first blood going over to the side of Wildheart Gaming. Now 2 turrets up for this next objective. Concussion Mine goes out onto that Leoric. He is looking to get away there. Anna here to heal him up. He's going to be able to walk away safely. This could also be a biotic emitter call coming out from the side of Wildheart Gaming. They're up 2 turrets and a level right now. If they wanted to do that, it would be theirs for the taking. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Brown Balla and Dope Monster getting onto that biotic emitter camp right now. Junkrat setting up some traps. Now they're going to have three little toys to drop on this point for first objective. Already a level up on Archon in this match. Greymane and Stukov looking to pick up the siege camp now on the side of Wildheart Gaming. And of course we have Cassia and the Anna over on the side of Archon picking up the camp here as well. So those are going to be pushing in the top lane during objective. I'm interested to see if the teams decide to clear those out or just go to objective here. Does look like Lupus is looking for that pick. It goes out onto Diablo. Diablo stuck in that silence now, and all the follow-up damage from the Greymane and Junkrat going to be enough to secure the kill there right before objective. Tempest getting quite low here, but he's going to be able to back out and survive just fine here. Stukov spreading his pustule around, getting everybody healed up for this first objective. McNulty already capping that and now walking down bottom to catch that wave that's crashing on the bottom fort. Does look like the camp of Wildheart Gaming was cleared out by Archon. Tempest rotating up now to clear out Archon's camp as Wildheart Gaming continues to get the channel on this first objective. Already sitting at about 40% for this first Triglav Protector. You're going to see Cassia and Anna with Mephisto looking for that pick onto the Junkrat here. And they are going to find it. Junkrat goes down, leaving the rest of the team to back off this point and just wait for the respawn on Junkrat. Still plenty of time here for them to contest, and they still have all their items to drop down on this point. 2 turrets and a biotic emitter. Looking at 3 turrets now. Junkrat spawning back in 2 seconds, and they're going to be able to go contest this point with so much to help them out here. Turret camp on the side of Archon getting picked up now by the Mephisto and Anna. Unfortunately, Diablo on this point by himself. Leoric here now show up, and down goes the first turret from the side of Wildheart Gaming. Second turret is down as well, and they're just looking to finish off this objective. They're already at 76%, so only 24% left, and the objective will be theirs. That's 1 turret down of Wildheart Gaming. Lupus still holding on to another one. They have that biotic emitter that can be dropped by the Stukov as well. Sleep goes out onto Lupus. We have the silence kind of helping to zone off. The biotic emitter is dropped, healing up everybody on the side of Wildheart Gaming, but Imperi's getting quite low. He is going to fall here. As well as the Junkrat getting chased down by the Cassia. Going to fall as well. Archon doing an amazing job of turning that around, even though Wildheart Gaming had so many items on their side to help them at this objective. Archon was able to fight through that, get the picks that they needed, and now likely are going to secure this first objective. Only now but 10% left till they get that, and the members just spawning in on the side of Wildheart Gaming. It looks like McNulty is maybe going to step up and kind of create some space for them to contest this one more time, though, but he's getting quite low for this. There is that silence going out that the Leoric and Diablo are fighting in, but unfortunately there's not enough damage to do anything to them, and McNulty and Brown Ball are getting quite low. Now Lupus being drained by that Leoric, also having to back off here. Fortunately, no members on the side of Wildheart Gaming goes down, so they will be up to defend this Triglav Protector. And in terms of XP, both teams pretty even. We do see Archon picking up their level 10s first here. Let's open up these talents, see what they go for. It does look like Cassia is going to pick up that Ball Lightning. Durance coming out from the Mephisto. Apoc from the Diablo. And we are having the Entomb on the Leoric. as well as nano boost from the Ana being picked up. Level 10's now online for the side of Wildheart Gaming, as well as this Triglob sieges down the top lane and manages to secure that top fountain. As we all know, the taking away the fountain there kind of gives them a bit of an advantage going into the next objective, as Wildheart Gaming won't have that tap. Durance comes out, connects onto the Junkrat. The swipe comes out from Stukov. Unfortunately, not enough to save the Junkrat. He does fall here, and now the siege continues on for this top fort here. Sleep goes out onto the Imperius, and we see the Cursed Bullet used on the Diablo there, but really nothing too much found here. That fort getting quite low, but not quite able to finish it off. It does look like they're going to make a play for this Biotic Emitter now on the side of Archon. Meanwhile, Wildheart Gaming picking up their turret camp in the bottom. Loop is hanging around top, making sure to clean up that lane so that the fort doesn't go down before next objective. Urel eyeing that turret, but getting caught out here by herself. All 5 members of Archon over here to defend this. So that one's going to definitely go over to the side of Archon, picking up their turret there. Siege camps are up and available. It does look like there's a rotation coming out from the Grey Mane, and Stukov to grab that now. But all in all, still in terms of XP, Archon slightly ahead, but it's still pretty close here. Junkrat setting up traps. Make it a little bit more difficult for the side of Archon to catch them on those rotations between mid and top, as they'll have to eat a trap to walk over there. Just a lot of like patience coming out from these players. Neither one of them want to take a fight that's you know, at a disadvantage for them, so they're kind of just sitting around in bushes, looking to grab XP when they can, and not overextend in their lanes here. Gonna see Diablo kind of rotating over into the side of Wildheart Gaming, looking to see what's going on over there, keeping eyes on the rotations, making sure that if a rotation comes out for his teammates that are pushing mid right now, he's going to be able to stall them out and hopefully peel the team. Urel going in on the backline, knocks back the Diablo. We have the stun coming out onto the Diablo from the Imperius, but he does pop that unstoppable and is looking to get away. He still has that Biotic Emitter to drop, as well as the turret on the side of Archon if they want to use it. Flaming Swipe coming out from the Stukov, knocking back a couple members of Archon here. Now we have the APOC landing onto the Imperius. Imperius getting quite low, and he is going to fall in this fight. So 1-0 in favor of Archon in this last fight here. Objective spawning in 15 seconds. And now that XP advantage starting to go over in favor of Archon even more. They are almost a whole level up on XP to Wildheart Gaming.
It's time, heroes. Control the terminal and bring in the protector.
JTR and Visto trying to get some poke onto this fort to finish it off. That is going to be that top fort falling. So Wildheart Gaming not going to have that fort to fall back to. Lior looking to get ganked in the mid there. Unfortunately, just didn't quite work out for Wildheart Gaming there. He is going to be able to back up. They do have the turret camp up and available on the side of Wildheart Gaming. While 5 members show up here, this should go over to the side of them, as Diablo's still kind of hanging around top, looking to get some channel onto that objective. Durance goes out, connects onto the Imperius, but they are able to get that turret and walk away safely here. Stukov popping his pustule, healing everyone up, and now they're looking to rotate up to this top objective. 2 turrets on the side of Wildheart Gaming. The Biotic Emitter still up and available to use on the Diablo. Diablo getting stunned by the Imperius. Silence coming out, and the Riptire coming out as well from the Junkrat. He's getting quite low here, and they are going to manage to find that pick there. Cassia, though, looking for the counter kill onto the Stukov. He's going to be able to back up Lupus as well. Both of them surviving here. Lior coming in now to tank for the side of Archon, give him a bit of front line, but he gets caught in that root silence coming out from the Stukov. backed up just enough to get healed up by Stukov, and now ready to re-engage here in a 5v4. Diablo had those souls in his backup now, so 5v5. And here comes the APOC Durance combo with the Entomb all on top of this Imperious, and he just gets melted and goes down here. He was able to drop that turret though, so they didn't give up a turret to Archon. But Triglav Protector going over to the side of Archon once again.
Blue team has
the biotic emitter getting picked up after the pick there, and they're going to siege down this mid fort, and they'll probably look to go bottom, clear out at least the healing fountain, if not the fort, if they can't get more, to open up the bottom lane for next objective.
Blue team has destroyed the fort.
Alright, bottom wall already completely cleared out by this Triglav. Fountain is down as well. Brown Ball looking to try and get some damage out onto this Triglav and push back and save the fort a bit here. Leoric and Yrel fighting it out in that top lane right now. Triglav at about 26% health, 15 seconds left on it. They're trying to secure this bottom fort before it goes down. And it looks like they're just going to be able to do this here.
Now, we'll make adjustments accordingly.
Turrets both up. Does look like Archon grabbing their turret right now. Wildheart Gaming potentially going for the invade here as they need to find that fight 320. APOC is out. We had the unstoppable pop by Tempest, but unfortunately still got caught in the apocalypse, but they find that pick onto Diablo anyway. Lupus in the backline of Archon trying to make something work while the Entomb is catching a lot of the backline of Wildheart Gaming. He managed to get the Diablo pick. He doesn't have souls this time, so he has that full death timer. Let's see what they can do with this now. Looks like they're going to do some sieging up in the bottom lane, trying to open this up, put it on a little bit even fighting for next objective. Cassia getting caught in a stun by Imperious, but Anna able to kind of heal her up. Junkrat doing a bunch of poke onto her though. Stukov and Greymane looking to pick up the turret now on the side of Wildheart Gaming. While Imperious and Junkrat still kind of eyeing the members of Archon in that bottom lane for a moment here. Diablo has died 3 times this game. And it's a very low death game. 6 deaths on the side of Wildheart Gaming, 4 on the side of Archon. Biotic emitter is now up and available to take, and it does look like Greymane and Stukov getting on that right away. Here comes Junkrat to help them finish that off a little bit faster, and traps are out. Cushion Mine on the point, so they're going to be able to grab this safely and back out. Level 20s are online now for the side of Archon, so they need to be a little bit careful here, as if they take a fight now, they're going to be fighting at a disadvantage. And there's the Silence Entomb coming out onto the Yrel. Silence going out onto the Stukov, or from the Stukov onto the Leoric, and Yrel's going to be able to survive here. The thing is, Entomb's pretty short cooldown, 40 seconds, and he can look to silence Entomb the members of Wildheart Gaming once again. So in the meantime, Wildheart Gaming really needs to look to get that level 20 so that they can contest this next objective. Does look like Archon wants to try and find this fight while they have the level 20 advantage, and I don't blame them. Kind of eyeing this Yrel and watching this rotation. And now backing off, I think, to go do their turret camp here.
Take control of it.
So 2 turrets and a biotic emitter on the side of Archon right now. And Leoric starting the channel on that bottom point. Level 20 is almost online now for the side of Wildheart Gaming, looking to just grab a globe of XP, and there we go. Level 20 is up and available. Junkrat going with that Riptire cooldown for his level 20. So Archon kind of needs to pay attention to how they clump up here. Lake Mine, how are you? Archon coming out from the Diablo, but Unstoppable popped by the Imperius. Entomb going out, connecting onto the Greymane and Imperius. They have the silence in there. JTR getting quite low, but it doesn't matter because 2 members down on the side of Wildheart Gaming. Looking to make it a 3rd on that Stukov, but the Flailing Swipe comes out trying to save him. Unfortunately, he's going to fall and give a Biotic Emitter over to the side of Archon. 3 members down now on the side of Wildheart Gaming. This objective looking like it's going to go over to Archon here. Anna going back to finish up the channel while the rest of her team pushes onto this bottom keep and opens it up for the win condition here on the side of Archon. Oh, Leoric trying to land that Entomb on a Junkrat, but fortunately for Junkrat, he was able to concussion mine himself out of there just in time. Anna now showing up with this Triglob. Members of Wildheart Gaming spawning in just a second here. 4 members up for now. Stukov coming up in 5 seconds with the defense. Stun goes out onto the Diablo. We have the Riptire connecting onto him and a couple other members. So we're going to see quite a low cooldown on that Riptire, up again in 15 seconds. They get the pick onto the Diablo, and the race is on to burn this core down. And it is falling quick, and this is going to be game number 1 going over to the side of Archon. GG's and well played. Take a look at this match summary really quick while I drink some water. Smoogie, how are you? I saw Rockwell's in chat too. And Goon's here supporting his team. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic weekend and Sunday night. Yeah, so as we kind of saying in that game, very, very low kill game, 9-6 in deaths. Wildheart Gaming really played the early game very well. They just ended up, even though they had all those items for that first objective, they ended up losing first objective and Archon managing to pick that up. And the thing with playing on this map is as soon as you win first objective, you start to open up the map and give yourself, your team an advantage going into all the other objectives. So you take down the top healing fountain, maybe even the top fort, if you can manage it. And all of a sudden it makes it so much harder to contest the next objective here. Next lobby is up and ready. It looks like everyone's ready to go. Let me update the map selections real quick. Give you an idea of what's going on. We are going to Towers of Doom for game number 2. This one looks like it was picked by Wildheart Gaming. Let me just give you a quick rundown of how we got, where we're going, and update you guys for anyone just joining in right now. Game number 1 played on Volskaya Foundry, picked by Archon, and the win as well grabbed there for the side of Archon. Game number 2, we are going to Towers of Doom. This time, this map being picked by Wildheart Gaming, so it looks like they opted for map pick instead of first pick after losing game number 1 here. Teams are ready to get into this, so I'm going to let them know I'm ready, and then we can get into game number 2 of the evening. And then hopefully game number 3. I'd love to see the series go to 3 games. It makes it more exciting for you and for me. In case you're curious about those map bans, they are below there. Hanamura and Braxis banned out by Archon. Dragonshire and Alterac banned out by Wildheart Gaming. But here we are. Game number 2, Towers of Doom. This time it is going to be Archon with that first pick. As I said, Wildheart Gaming opting to go with map pick here. So they must have a plan on how they want to play Towers of Doom if they're bringing us here. The ETC band coming out once again on the side of Archon. We saw this band last game. Not a hero they want to deal with. The second band that Archon... Interesting. The second band that Archon opted for here was the Chromie, but instead it's going to be Wildheart Gaming getting rid of Chromie in this draft. Ana being banned away this time. Yeah. Archon did pick up Ana last game. This is interesting. They're all banning things that they were playing or the other team banned last game, because Junkrat now being banned out, and that was picked up by Wildheart Gaming last time.
I play to win.
We're going to see that Diva being first picked on the side of Archon. Now, Diva, very popular right now. And she tends to perform, if you look at win rates, I was kind of taking a peek at this the other day because I was interested to know. She does very, very well in lower ranked games, but when you go up into Masters, her win rate much lower than a lot of other heroes. So I kind of wonder if she's suffering a little bit from like the Kael'thas syndrome, where she performs super well at lower ranks, but when you get into higher ranks, she starts to fall off like quite a lot. So I'm interested to see how she performs in a heroic division game tonight. We are going to have Virtuoso picking up that Joanna. Little Bex locking in the Deckard. Mephisto ban coming out from the side of Wildheart Gaming. We did see that Mephisto being played by Archon in game number 1. So not too surprising there, as they still need to pick up the DPS for their team. Could imagine a well-timed Durance into a Diva mech explosion could be pretty nasty as well. And that's going to be the Urel ban coming out from Archon. Which, again, not too surprising. It's a pretty popular pick on Wildheart Gaming. We saw McNulty play at game number 1. They still need their offlaner, and Urel does a pretty decent job of double soaking on a map like Towers of Doom. Maybe some resets comp coming out here with the Greymane and Li Ming. Of course, we got that Stukov getting picked up again by Wildheart Gaming. I like that they didn't leave their tank till so late in the draft this time. Because last time, a lot of tanks got banned out. And I don't know if they just felt forced onto playing the Imperius tank or if that was always the plan of Wildheart Gaming. But yeah, the thing with Imperius as a main tank is he's just not as beefy of a body. And you really need to be securing those kills off of the Imperius stuns, because after that point, there's not really much more that he brings to the fight. You know, you get that pick off the stun on Imperius, and then from there, because you get the pick, you're in a 4v5 and can kind of win the fight. But if you don't get the pick, it becomes a lot harder. Sonya getting picked up on the side of Wildheart Gaming. I like this pickup. She's quite capable at double soaking on Towers of Doom. Usually you want a solo laner that can do the double soak mid-top and allow the 4-man to just kind of run it down bottom and get those sapper camps when they're up and available. You know what is also quite nice on the side of Archon? You got that Deckard, you do the stay a while and listen, and it sets them up for a really nice Diva Bomb or an Eternal Feast coming out from the Orphea, or even Ball Lightning from the Cassia. Follow it up with a Joanna stun, and now they're CC'd for even longer in all of that damage. It could really play out well for the side of Archon. Well, here we are, game number 2 of this best of 3 series. Let's start on the right-hand side. We have Wildheart Gaming with Brown Bala on the Greymane, Dope Monster playing the Stukov, Lupus on the Garrosh, McNulty playing the Sonya, and Tempest on the Li Ming. And on the left-hand side, we have Archon up 1 game in the series with Little Bex on the Deckard, JTR on the Orphea, Virtuoso on that Joanna, Fatal Rampage on the Cassia, and Midnight Phase. No, sorry, Midnight Phase on the Cassia and Fatal Rampage on the Diva. Deckard just setting up some potions, getting ready for that mid-game brawl. Got that toss going out onto Joanna. She's going to pop the Unstoppable and walk away here. Perfectly safe and even healed up if she wants it. Condemn coming out from the Joanna, and Deckard throwing his root out. He's going to catch Sonya for the moment. Just going to be able to heal off that minion wave. And now Cassia getting thrown into the backlight of Wildheart Gaming, and then they find that pick. First blood going in favor of Wildheart Gaming here. 20 seconds until those sappers are up. Garrosh going for that toss once again, but Joanna's going to pop her trait, go unstoppable, and walk away here. Cassie coming down, might get caught in the rotation if she's not careful here. Garrosh is sitting in this bush, just kind of checking things out, looking for what picks he can get. Sapper camps are now up and available. We are going to see Orphea starting the siege camp of Archon here. Garrosh still just kind of looking and zoning and trying to find picks where he can. Even though Archon started their camp way earlier, I think these camps are going to be finished almost around the same time. Greymane's damage on these camps is just a lot. He gets them done fast. Does look like they're trying to find a gank onto that Sonya. 3 members of Archon up in that mid lane, but she is going to be able to walk away here and continue her double soaking. She's going to miss a few globes here in the mid, though, unfortunately. Garrosh wandering up to pick those up for her there. They didn't really miss anything at all. Garrosh now kind of keeping vision on that, in that bush, looking to see if there's anyone he can throw. It's always terrifying to have a mounted Garrosh running at your face. Lupus playing really aggressive this game. Every time they go for any kind of rotation, he's always over on the side of Archon, looking to get that throw out onto somebody. Just taking a little bit of damage there from the Orphea. Condemn connecting onto the Stukov there. Again, he's just mounted and looking to throw somebody. He does get that Joanna. Unfortunately, doesn't have that Unstoppable to pop at the moment. She's going to get quite chunked here, but able to survive. Altar's coming up here in about 20 seconds. You have the 2 on top and the 1 down bottom in the mid. It does look like there's going to be 4-man fighting over the mid one, so I expect to see just a trade going on in the top lane between the Sonya. Never mind, Sonya's going to die. Maybe we're going to see Diva invade the turret or the altar of the right, or maybe even another member coming up. Just have to see how this plays out. It doesn't look like Garrosh going for that top right altar. Diva capping the left one. And they're just going to give over the mid one to the side of Archon for now, as they are down their Sonya to contest here.
Fire the towers, destroy the
So currently 36 to 32 on core damage in favor of Archon Gaming, or sorry, Archon.
Doomed to the grave. I am lord of this realm, and it will not be stolen from me.
Those siege camps spawning in again here shortly. 5 seconds until the camp on the side of Archon is up. 5 seconds now until the camp on the side of Wildheart Gaming is up. Both teams kind of posturing to grab those as soon as they spawn in here. You know, as well as Sonya is doing or does at double soaking, it does seem that D.Va is giving her a little bit of problems in these lanes. You kind of take a peek up and she's quite low on health. And Garrosh has had to rotate into the mid to catch waves for her a couple times now. You see both members, or both teams, trying to clear out those siege camps in the bottom lane. Archon's camp is down, now just one little sapper left on the side of Wildheart Gaming. They're going to clear that out and try to get a pick going into this next altar phase, but unfortunately not able to find it for the side of Archon. Sonya in that mid lane now needs to be a little bit careful of a rotation coming out. We do see Orphea stepping up, trying to get some damage out onto her. She does have that level 7 chomp cooldown now, so she's going to be able to just stick on this Sonya and sustain herself quite easily in this fight. Here comes Fatal Rampage. He does have that mech explosion up. McNulty trying to spin to win, get a little bit of healing done on him here. We're going to need to back up and tap before he can come help at objectives. Dope Monster trying to get the channel there, but unable to finish it. Now we have the mech explosion coming out. Garrosh getting picked off by the D.Va. And this is going to be the next altar going over to the side of Archon. There's really not much Wildheart Gaming can do here down their tank. Level 10's almost online now for the side of Archon. Wildheart Gaming, you know, shortly, we'll get it shortly behind them. Very, very even on XP for the most part. We see level 10's hit. We are going to see micro missiles being picked up by the D.Va, Blessed Shield by the Joanna. It's actually going to be Crushing Jaws coming out from the Orphea. Stay Well and Listen from the Diablo and Ball Lightning from the Cassia. Or from the Deckard. The Blessed Shield goes out. Stay a While, Listen goes out as well as the Crushing Jaws. Not able to find the Pix net, and now Virtuoso thrown into the backline of Wildheart Gaming. They find that pick onto the Joanna. Wow, all 5 members down this bottom lane. It does look like D.Va in a little bit of trouble. Taunt comes out onto her. Lupus trying to keep her in this fight to get that pick, but she is going to be able to survive as he's tanking tower shots looking for it. They're going for the invade now onto the siege camp. Joanna not back up for another 3 seconds here. So this camp going to go over to the side of Wildheart Gaming. If you didn't see in the fight what alts were picked there, Garrosh going with the Warlord's Challenge. Wave of Force from the Ming. Flailing Swipe being picked up by the Stukov. Wrath of the Berserker from the Sonya. And Cursed Bullet from the Greymane. They do manage to walk a couple of those sappers in and get some damage onto that front wall of bottom keep. And now Altar spawning in at the bottom here. Sonya not here for this fight though. Toss goes out onto the D.Va. She's not quite able to pop her mech explosion before she gets knocked out of her mech. And now here comes Sonya on the flank here, looking to get that backline. Ton of damage going out onto the D.Va. Potions are around. They're looking for that pick onto her. Stay a While and Listen comes out to zone off the members of Wildheart Gaming. McNulty now in the backline. Crushing Jaws comes out, but it does not connect onto any members of Wildheart Gaming. Now Stukov spreading that pustule, hitting that heal, getting everybody healed back up on the side of Wildheart Gaming to re-engage here. Unfortunately, that D.Va getting quite low, but not able to pick up, and now she almost has her mech back up and available. Lupus needs to be careful here. He is looking for those picks and toss, but he's getting quite low doing it. Mech explosion coming out from the D.Va. It's... Whoop. We do have a pause coming out here. A little bit of lag going on. Right in the heat of things. Look, McNulty, he's still sitting on like that back line trying to get some damage in here. We do have the ready coming out. And this mech explosion about to go off. Lupus did throw it away from his team, but also kind of closer to McNulty. So we'll have to see if he can manage to walk away without taking any damage. And if he's going to be able to survive, because as you can see, he's positioned way over in the back line of Archon right now. With all the members just sitting around ready to collapse on him. His team's quite far away to kind of reach him and help him out right now. go. He is spinning, looking to walk away here, but quite low. Lupus still quite low as well. Chomp's coming out from that Orphea. She does have that cooldown ability, so she's basically just going to be able to, you know, she lands a Chomp, she's going to have it back up again in a few seconds. McNulty trying to spin on that wave to get healed up here. Does land that stun onto Orphea, who turns around and lands the Chomp right back onto him, trying to get that kill. It is going to be the Garrosh getting picked off here. Brown Balla rolling away, looking to get out, and Little Beck's capping the altar for the side of Archon. Now making the score 24-36 in favor of Archon, and they're going for that invade now onto the siege camp of Wildheart Gaming. There's really not too much that Wildheart Gaming can do here. Now, the thing with a Li Ming is you really need to be finding picks in these team fights to get that resets value out of the Ming, and it's just not really happening for the side of Archon, so they don't have that value that Li Ming brings to team fights with her resets. But I think if they can manage to find those picks and get those targets that Garrosh throws into the backline locked down and killed, that they'll be able to turn these fights into their favor quite easily. It's going to be the Joanna being thrown this time. The Rue Silence coming out onto the Joanna, though. Greymane in the back line. Going to finish off that Joanna. She is going to fall here, and now the invade onto the siege camp of Archon Gaming. Tempest's quite low on mana, though. Needs to be a bit careful. JTR stepping up to do some damage. Does look like Lupus trying to see if he can eye another throw here. And these pumpkins walking in to do a bit of damage onto the front wall of this bottom fort. Joanna not up for another 5 seconds here. And now Wildheart Gaming slightly ahead on XP. Not too much, but they're pulling slightly ahead. Sonya having to use her tap here before this objective. Diva's just doing a fantastic job of holding on to her her boost to kind of interrupt Sonya's spin.
Disappoint me.
Altars are now up and available. It does look like the Decker is going to grab the altar of Archon right now. Sonya getting onto the altar of Wildheart Gaming. And there might just be a trade here. No point in fighting on equal talent tiers. Back to the soaking and looking for picks on the rotation. "25 seconds until the siege camp of Wildheart Gaming is up to grab here. Lupus taking quite a bit of damage rotating to the bottom lane. Siege camp coming up now on the side of Wildheart Gaming. So we're going to see if there's going to be an invade here. It does look like they're going for the gank onto the Sonya. She is able to back up and get behind her fort wall in mid. But this kind of opens up the opportunity for an invade potentially here onto the siege camp of Wildheart Gaming, as they're aware that Sonya had to back. And it will be a 5v4 in favor of Archon in that bottom lane if they go for this. Diva Mech Explosion up as well. So even if everyone was there, she could just pop that Mech Explosion on the point to secure the camp. I'm going to clear up these pumpkins now, save a little bit of damage onto this bottom keep. Blessed Shield goes out, connects onto the members of Wildheart Gaming, followed up by the Deckard Root. Unfortunately, not able to find any picks off that. The Garrosh does live, as well as the Greymane. Has to use his tap up, so he's not going to have that available for this next fight. But level 16's online now for the side of Wildheart Gaming. They have the talent tier advantage. Let's see if they can do anything with it here. Sonya opting to grab that top camp right now, while the Diva soaks out mid. Lupus being quite aggressive looking for those picks, but just not able to find them and is getting poked down in the meantime. Crushing Jaws coming out. That is going to connect onto the Garrosh, and he's getting too low. He's going to have to leave his team. We have the Greymane and the Li Ming kind of stuck behind the backline of Archon here. Unfortunately, even with that level 16 talent tier advantage, they weren't quite able to do anything with that. McNulty getting some damage out onto the Orphea. Blessed Shield goes out, connects onto the Garrosh. We have the Condemned to follow up. Deckard throwing out his root. Does catch the Sonya. Now we have the Mech Explosion from the D.Va. Lupus throwing it away, but getting a little bit caught in the explosion himself here. Sonya's in that back line now, spinning, and the spin gets interrupted. She gets tossed out, though. Lupus, a beautiful save on the Sonya there, managing to do the friendly throw to keep McNulty alive. Stukov healing everybody up, but can they get the interrupt on this objective? And no, this is going to be the altered going over to the side of Archon here. It just seems like Wildheart Gaming isn't able to find those throws that they need to get in these fights. Lupus is constantly stepping up, looking for them, but not able to find them and getting chunked down and leaving the front line of Wildheart Gaming pretty weak. Again, we're seeing that here. He steps up looking for the throw, but doesn't find it. And instead walks away, taking a ton of damage in the meantime. Brown Balla getting caught in that crushing jaw, but he is able to survive. Siege Camp is up once again on the side of Wildheart Gaming. There we go. There goes the toss onto the Cassia. Damage goes out to follow up, but unfortunately she does pop that unstoppable. Brown Balla getting quite low, looking to retreat here. Lupus now also in danger, and she does get picked off by the Orphea. Sonya coming down to join the fight, but this might turn out being a little bit of a bad idea for her, and the Siege Camp now being invaded by the side of Archon. Sonya manages to get away here. Rest of the members just clearing up bottom. That Gladiator's Medallion definitely more difficult for Garrosh to play now, as so many people can just cleanse when he goes for those tosses, or cleanse right after you do the toss and able to walk away. Bottom keep now being threatened by Archon here, and without their Garrosh kind of step up and tank this for them, this is going to be Archon taking this bottom fort away from Wildheart Gaming. 2 altars now spawning in the mid and bottom lane. It seems like perfect time for Archon to have capped that bottom altar, as it's going to force Wildheart Gaming to rotate up through mid or the choke point by the Siege Camp. Lupus taking that tunnel here, looking for the toss. It does go out onto the Joanna. He does land the taunt and the silence follow up, and that's going to be Joanna getting picked off. Only 7 shots left on their core here, so they need to play this game, you know, pretty strategically the rest of the way. There's a boss up that they could take off the map for another just win condition away from the side of Archon if they want to go for that. And they also need to look at grabbing back this bottom bell tower. I'd really like to see them do something with that pick. Joanna's down for another 20 seconds here. And level 20s are going to be hit by the side of Archon first, so if they don't find something soon, they're going to have to be waiting a long time to take a fight on equal talent tiers. And that's not something that Wildheart Gaming can necessarily afford to do right now, as the score is 25-7 in favor of Archon. There is a push for this bottom bell tower. Lupus tanking it here, getting quite low. Joanna now back up. You see the Deckard root connecting onto Lupus here, and now Joanna's here to kind of push them back off this bottom keep. So Wildheart Gaming really struggling here. Even down the tank on the side of Archon, they aren't able to grab that bottom bell tower back. And now level 20s are up and available for Archon as they defend this bottom fort. D.Va also grabbing the sappers on the side of Archon, so those need to be defended as well, or that's going to be 3 shots onto the core of Wildheart Gaming, which will end the game if the altar goes over to the side of Archon. Out goes the throw and taunt onto the Joanna. She pops her trade, is looking to back up, and now Lupus getting picked off. Garrosh does fall here. Joanna's still getting kind of chased down by the Sonya. She does have that poison spear going out, connecting onto her, but unfortunately giant potions from the Deckard is going to keep her alive here. You see the flailing swipe coming out from the Stukov, but the rest of the members of Wildheart Gaming, they're just too far behind enemy lines, getting caught with too little health. They are going to go down, and this is going to be game number 2 going over to the side of Archon if they manage to take this camp and push it in. Or they could go boss. I mean, they have a couple different win conditions here. Either way, Death Timer is too long now on the side of Wildheart Gaming, so it does look like Archon going to be able to finish off the series 2-0 tonight against Wildheart Gaming. All right, GG's and well played to Archon tonight. Wildheart Gaming showing up and unfortunately losing that 2-0 sweep by Archon tonight. I guess we got to see the D.Va and how she plays on this map. Let me hit up the captain of Archon, see if they're interested in doing an interview. We can do some quick little shout outs for them and ask them some questions about their teams and draft. Oh, hi, Richard. Virtuoso OP. I mean, again, very low death game, though. 9-7. I think last time it was 9-6. Yeah. You can see D.Va did a decent job of double soaking as well. 26k soaked to Sonya's 24. Not like a giant difference, but enough, you know? I think that a lot of it just came down to partly because of Gladiator's Medallion and you're playing into Joanna, but it was really hard for Garrosh to find the picks that he needed to, and he was stepping up and taking so much damage, and it was just kind of leaving Wildheart Gaming without a front line in these fights after he would do that. Give me a second here. I'm gonna jump into a lobby, see if the captain wants to come join me.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, perfect. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing alright, not too bad.
Well, congrats on that win. We have Midnight Thays here in the chat with me. He played the Cassia in the last game. How is your team feeling after that win?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely really fun, and we felt pretty confident going into that game number 2 because game number 1 went pretty well for us as well. So overall, we just felt really good.
So yeah, the D.Va being picked up in game number 2, is that something that you guys are looking to run right now with the way D.Va, or the meta, I guess I will say, with D.Va?
Yeah, Fatal really loves playing D.Va right now. When we play Storm League, he'll try to pick it first pick most of the time. He's been doing really well on it, though. It felt really good in those fights because the bomb was up pretty often, so it was really good for zoning and getting picks, so not too
I was
bad.
saying before we got into this game, I was kind of taking a peek at D.Va's win rate because a lot of people have been calling for nerfs to D.Va. But when you look at like master level, GM level games, her win rate really falls off, and she's not as dominant as you see in like lower ranked games. So I was interested to see on how well she performed in Heroic Division tonight.
Yeah, it definitely felt pretty good, except for a couple times he almost got popped. I think that's why she doesn't do so well in Masters. Once she's out of mech, she's just so easy to kill, even with the trinket. Like, Sonya almost killed him a couple times solo. So,
yeah.
I think that's the big reason why that win rate probably drops off. But she trades really well in lane. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're kind of paying attention to how she was doing. She was keeping up with the double soak and even managing to get a pick onto Sonya at 1.2 up in the solo lane. So it was very well played. Let's talk about your team a little bit. How long have you guys been playing together?
A couple years now, actually. Me and Vex, we live together. We're together, and then JTR, we started playing with him probably, I would say, 3 years ago now, and then Fatal joined in probably around that same time, 2 or 3 years. So you're a little bit of a well-practiced team. You have a lot of synergy going for you and communication and experience together. Yep, we basically play it just like how we play every other game if we're Storm Leaguing or whatever else, because we play together all the time. So
that's good.
It's pretty casual.
How's your season going so far in NGS? I haven't really... I've kind of been watching Heroic Division, but this is my first time catching one of your games.
Right, I think we're doing pretty well. I think we're number 3 on the leaderboard right now in terms of wins and losses. So I think we're doing really well. I kind of get it mixed up because we were doing Heroes Lounge too.
Oh,
at
yeah,
on
yeah.
NGS,
No, I
so.
can understand. A little bit about your drafting. You saw the ETC ban coming out both times. Is that a target ban onto Wildheart Gaming, or do you guys just prefer to avoid that ETC picked right now?
It's the latter. We definitely prefer to avoid it. I think ETC is probably one of our weaker tanks we play into, especially once the end game hits at level 20, and you know he gets his spike with either Torbus or Deathmosh. It's just it gets pretty hard to play against sometimes, and we don't always play around it.
Yeah, I find it definitely more challenging now, especially when you can't keep track of a cooldown on Mosh Pit anymore. It makes them a little bit more challenging to play around. Well, I think that's wrapped up all the questions I have for you tonight, but do you have any shout-outs before we end this off?
Yeah, sure. Definitely want to give a shout out to the other team. They played well, and it was a really fun match. Shout out to my team, of course, JTR, Fatal, Bex, and Vert for coming in. We always have a rotation of tanks, so shout out to Hunter, CJR as well for whenever he tanks for us. That's thanks for casting. Shout out to you as well.
Oh yeah,
and
no
that's
problem.
pretty much it.
So you got some pretty awesome tank players on your team if you have Virtuoso and then Hunter subbing in for you.
Yeah, I agree. Just the problem is it's always like every other game is one or the other, and sometimes we have to like struggle to find another one. It's just few and far between with tanks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hear you there. All right. Well, it was such a pleasure to interview you. I hope you have a fantastic rest of Season 10 of NGS. I look forward to seeing where your team goes and how Heroic Division plays out. But once again, congrats on the win tonight.
Yep. Thanks so much. All right.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one. All right. Bye.
All right. That's gonna wrap things up for me tonight. I haven't had dinner yet. Scott, best husband in the world today, decided to clean the entire house and start slow cooker dinner of shredded barbecue chicken sandwiches for dinner tonight. So I just gotta shout him out because he's pretty awesome. He can't hear me right now, but he's awesome. So I'm going to wrap up stream here, go have some dinner with my husband, and I will be back tomorrow evening to cast Division... Let's see here. Division A West tomorrow, doing Fox and his carries against Fancy Flightless Fowl. So if you want to catch that, that's at 8 p.m. Pacific, and I will be casting all this week. You can catch me Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday here at this channel casting Heroes of the Storm games. So if you like listening to casted games, make sure to hit that follow button and come check out the channel again later this week. Until then, have yourselves a wonderful rest of your weekend and stay safe out there.